artifacts real quick, but I'm pretty much just gonna try to show you what the best teams would be in the solo raids and the league raids. And if you have the artifacts that I'm gonna show, even better. But if not, you can send me like screenshots or something of your artifacts and I can tell you what's best. So pretty much I'll show you the teams and then maybe I'll do other videos that show you the best teams against certain characters like this douchebag Atrocitus. This fight sucks. It's gonna take multiple tries. It's very hard to one shot this bastard. So, oh, I can't even do it that way. Alright. Just because I want to show you in teams, I'm just gonna go into here since I already used up all my pips in solo raid. But basically, best team number one, Raven, Beast Boy, and then Silver, Dr. Fate. Scroll over to him, boom. So this team right here, don't even worry about the right side, just look at my side, the left side of the teams. So this team right here can one-shot basically anything. Even though my team isn't like fully ascended and fully leveled up, I can get through phase 1, 2, and 3 of Brainiac. So I can deal, multiple billions with this fucking team. And the best way to use them, Raven, once she's maxed out, use this artifact. And this one is from her actual her solo raid, Raven solo raid, the Chaos. And yeah, so the Sword of Sin, it applies burn on successful special, and it drains however high you have it leveled up, it'll drain for longer. But basically mine drains a half a power bar every second for 6 seconds, almost 7 seconds. But basically, you apply the burn. Burn reduces defense, so when you stack that, you're making them weaker defensively. And since Raven stacks darkness, if you get 5 stacks of the darkness, then your other character, your damage dealer, is going to be at like 500% plus damage, and you're going to have their defense lowered. Then Beast Boy is just a disgusting character. If you have Zatanna's puppet, it makes him practically unstoppable. So each negative effect that you add to the opponent stacks up to 500% extra damage. So if you get this fully stacked up, you're already at plus 1000 damage. So you have a chance to apply negative effects on successful specials. It lasts for 23 seconds. So every time you do a special, it adds a negative effect. Every negative effect that you add stacks plus 75% up to 500. So right there, you already have plus 1000% if you just do Raven's couple of stacks and the couple of stacks of Zatanna's puppet with Beast Boy. But the other benefit is Zatanna's puppet, you have infinite power when there's more than 4 or 5 negative effects on the opponent. And Dr. Fate is here just because his passive is -2 to team's power bar cost for special abilities. So if your special would cost you 3 bars, now it only costs you 1. If it would cost you 5 bars, now it costs you 3. So he's a good support when you need it. Characters that have high special costs, like Beast Boy's special 3 is 8 bars, I believe. So using Dr. Fate, you bring it down to 6. And with him, since it's the Dark Metal solo raid right now, I would use this, the Dark Metal artifact. The Dark Metal cards are amazing. It removes crit immunity up to 85%, and it basically spawns a little area, and as long as you're in that area, you remove 85% of their chance to ignore crits. Plus, you can add 170% crit damage, and it can exceed the cap. So if the cap is 300% crit damage, this will let you go up to 470%. So let me show you. So his crit damage right now is at 349. So it's already above. Alright. So just to make it simple, like, this is the best team. These are the cards you want to go for. Just to make it a little bit shorter of a video, I won't go into all the artifacts right now, but I'll show you the best teams. So Raven, Beast Boy, Dr. Fate, team number 1. Team number 2, in terms of damage, is the Dark Metal team. You got Batman Who Laughs, Batwoman the Drowned, and Robin King. And basically, you want to use his abilities that, let's see, where is it? He does percent damage to health, right? So 2% opponent's current health reduction on every 4th successful basic or swipe attack. Maximum 40% health per opponent per battle. So if they're at 100% and you hit them 4 times, now they're at 98%. And it goes just like that until you hit this maximum of 40%. So you're literally, if they have 1 billion health, you minus 2% of it. There's no, there's no stat point or anything like that. It's just a clean 2% no matter what the health is at that time. And the other plus to this team is that Robin King also does percent health damage with his special 3. So he does 9.37% right now because I have it leveled up. But current health reduction for each unique metal debuff. So each one of the debuffs that you apply with any of the characters, it'll do up to that 10% or 9% with a maximum of 40. So let's say I have Batwoman the Drowned's Infection and I have Robin King's Maniac or Victim debuff on them, then I'll do 10% or 20%, whatever their current health is. If it's at 1 billion, minus 100 million. It's just that easy. So what I do is I use him with the with Zatanna's puppet. Let me just switch this over. Boom. Yeah, I'll use him with Zatanna's puppet here. I'll use the Dark Metal cards on Batwoman the Drowned. And I have the Beta Club, so I will use the Beta Club with Batman Who Laughs. And pretty much you'll learn which artifacts you have that are best for which situations. But for the most part, if you have the Beta Club, Dark Metal cards, and Zatanna's puppet, you can pretty much beat any of the solo raid bosses and league raid bosses. So team 3, I would say, is actually Zatanna, Mr. Freeze, and Supergirl. Not the new Supergirl, this one right here, or Power Girl, sorry. So this team, Zatanna has percent health damage, and I don't want to keep going through all of their things, but basically you want to use Zatanna and get them on fire, and then every one of her specials is going to take away 2% of their health until it maxes at 40, just like the other percent health dealers. So what I would do is I would put her with the Dark Metal cards because it increases the crit damage and reduces crit immunity. So I would use her as a setup, do as much of the percent damage as I can, as quick as I can, and then I would tag in Freeze. And if you put Freeze with the Zatanna's puppet, then he can basically just do his freeze force field or freeze field multiple times and just keep freezing the opponent, and his damage can build up over like 1800% if you keep going with it. So he also does hazard DOT, power generation goes up by 50%. They freeze for 7 seconds, and you have a 25% chance to affect raid bosses. For the most part, the only person you have a hard time with are characters that are still immune to freeze, not just resistant. So like Brainiac and shit like that. Then Power Girl does the same thing for us that Dr. Fate does, where you -2 to team's power bar cost. So instead of it costing, like 6 to use Mr. Freeze's special 2, it'll only cost me 4 bars. So right here it says it costs 4 bars for Frost Field. I would only need to use 2 bars for it. And with her, I would do whatever the solo raid is. So this one, I would do either I do have another set of dark metal cards, so I would give her that, or I would give her, if you have another dark metal artifact, you could give her that. So like her, I would probably give her these batarangs because of the, right here it says solo raid event only plus 9200 attack for team. Because it's this solo raid, you would get these bonuses right here. Plus 9200 attack for team total, plus 29,000 health for team total. So it is good to use the solo raid specific artifacts. So again, Zatanna, Mr. Freeze, Power Girl, Zatanna with the dark metal cards at a higher level, Power Girl, dark metal cards, or another dark metal artifact, and then Mr. Freeze with the Zatanna's puppet. Let's see. Next will be the League of Anarchy team. Boom. And it's Last Laugh Joker. I would put him with the lower dark metal cards that I have, or any other solo raid artifact. Poison Ivy, I only gave her the batarang so that I would have more attack and more health. So I have the 3 artifacts for this one. And I would give Harley, basically any fight that I do with Harley, she's going to have these dark metal cards on her. That is her best weapon. She's really good in fights where they say stun on tag in and things like that, because she can actually reverse stuns. So like if you're fighting Arkham Knight Batman and you tag in and you would get stunned, instead he will get stunned, and she does insane amounts of damage to stunned opponents. So like the strategy with her would be to use the special 2 so that you get them stunned, and then if you're on the field for the dark metal cards, you're going to do insane amounts of damage and just delete health bars. But this is a team that will literally melt almost any health bar if you have the right artifacts on. And even if you don't have the right artifacts on, they are still a really good team together. Then you have King of Atlantis Aquaman, and I will usually pair him with the Black Adam, the Rock Black Adam, and then Girl of Steel Supergirl. Aquaman does really good with either the Beta Club or Zatanna's puppet. For the most part, those are going to be your 2 biggest things to try to get as far as like artifacts. Those are the 2 main important ones right now for damage dealers, at least. So like if I put the Beta Club on Aquaman, I will put Zatanna's puppet on Black Adam. And it's the Rock Black Adam. He is the better one, sadly, because he does percent damage on tag-in. So when you tag in, you have a timer. It's like 10 seconds or 15 seconds or something where he's actually doing percent damage to the health, kind of like Batman Who Laughs or Robin King. But you want to build up specials with him until you get enough to use Supergirl here. And Girl of Steel Supergirl, she actually, uh, every time there's power spent by her or her teammates or drained by the opponents, 5% of maximum health heal for Supergirl and her teammates, but she accumulates solar energy. So her specials will turn red. And when they're red and you use them, each one does plus 30% team's damage for each solar energy spent, stacks up to 400%. So let's see, you do a special 2 and it costs you 4 bars, that will stack that 30% 4 times, so it'll be 120%. And you keep doing that until you hit the 400%. Then you tag back in with Aquaman or Black Adam and you use them as your damage dealers. Let's see. Got all those. And then the other one, my cleanup team basically is Manta, Brainiac, and then classic Wonder Woman. This one right here. And basically, my new strategy, I had a different strategy with him before. So, the new one that I use, I'll actually put the Beta Club on Black Manta. I will put Zatanna's Puppet on Brainiac. And then I'll put the Dark Metal cards, the higher level one that I have, I will put on Classic Wonder Woman. And basically what you're trying to do here is you want to do a couple of attacks with Black Manta and then tag Brainiac basically right away and start using his special 1. And after the first 1 or 2, you should have infinite power from Zatanna's Puppet. So you can just spam your special 1 8 or 9 times. And once that is leveled up, now you've passed on like up to 300% lethal attack damage. Plus, there's over 75% crit damage being added because you have Wonder Woman here. So Black Manta will be able to do like up to 4 hits at a time, and they'll have 300% lethal and at least 75% crit damage, plus the buffs that Black Manta already has. So like this is my 6th powerful team basically. But those are the cards that you really want to shoot for. I mean, you really want Raven, you want Heartbreaker Harley, you want Batman Who Laughs, you want Mr. Freeze, you want King of Atlantis Aquaman, Beast Boy,